Good evening, it's me, and thanks for joining me on this channel. We're going to look at how Apple is integrating ChatGPT right into Siri, how Google is teaching robots to learn faster, and how your phone might soon work in the wilderness with no towers or Wi-Fi. Plus, how AI is dodging bullets in Ukraine, and how hackers are stealing voices from social media to trick people. And I have a special message for my community at the end, so stick around. First, let's dive into today's big story. Apple is following through on what Tim Cook teased back in WWDC. Apple's now fully integrating ChatGPT into Siri. We got our first look at iOS 18 beta a few hours ago, and there's a lot to unpack. But here's the big one. When you ask Siri for help, it can now reach out to external systems for answers. And yes, that includes ChatGPT. So, instead of giving you stock answers, Siri can tap into OpenAI smarts when you need them. It's like having ChatGPT right inside Siri. And here's a bonus. Siri can handle follow-up questions too. You don't need an OpenAI account for this. Apple says requests are kept anonymous and sent securely. And they've been working on this for quite some time, building their own neural processing unit. So this is not just ChatGPT inside. Apple's added their own sauce. They're calling it Apple Intelligence. It's supposed to be smart, private, and built-in. Those are three words that don't usually go together with big tech. But maybe Apple can pull it off. But wait, there's more. Siri's getting conversational too. Apple showed examples where it remembers what you asked before and follows up naturally. This could make interacting with your phone much richer. But also imagine Siri learning your style over time. My assistant has already saved me tons of time scheduling things. But this could take it to the next level. We'll see how it goes as Apple rolls this out to testers. And if it works well, it should come to newer iPhones, iPads, and Macs later this year. Next up, we have an update from Google DeepMind. They've developed what they call RoboCat 2. This is a new robot brain that helps robots learn new tasks 20 times faster than before. Basically, it's a more advanced version of what they did last year, which was already impressive. Here's how it works. The AI watches human demonstrations of tasks, like picking up a cup. Then it tries to mimic those tasks. If it fails, and it will fail a lot, it figures out why and adjusts for next time. Just like a toddler learning to walk, it falls, it gets up, learns from each attempt and gradually improves. What is amazing is that it can remember these tasks so it can handle small changes in its environment. For example, if the cup is a bit tilted or there's a slight bump on the table, the robot can still figure it out. And it can do this across different environments. It's not limited to just the place it learned in. And here's the best part. Once a robot learns a task, it can apply that knowledge to similar tasks. This means that with a little training, a robot could learn to pick up and pour all kinds of different beverages. It's not perfect yet. It still needs guidance from humans, but it's getting really close to true household robots. And who knows, maybe one day we'll have robots doing chores and shopping for us. But until then, we'll just have to settle for AI-powered cups of coffee. Now, let's turn our attention to something out of this world. Literally. SpaceX just successfully tested its Starlink direct-to-cell system. This is a way for your phone to connect directly to a satellite without going through a ground station. They've been working on this for a while, but the timing couldn't be better. Imagine being in a remote area or during an emergency like a hurricane, and you still have access to your phone. No more roaming charges, no more lost signal. And that's what Elon Musk envisions with Starlink direct-to-cell. The test was done with a prototype and it looks promising. We'll likely see more tests and fine-tuning before it's rolled out to regular Starlink users. This is a major leap towards better connectivity everywhere. Speaking of connections, a quick heads up. Now let's tackle a critical issue. AI voice scams are on the rise. Hackers are cloning the voices of popular TikTok and YouTube creators. They're using deepfake technology to synthesize their voices. And then they're using those fake voices to make phone calls and send messages to trick people. It's scary how realistic these deepfakes can sound. But there are ways to protect yourself. Apple announced that it's adding voice verification to FaceTime. This way you can confirm that the person you're talking to is actually who they say they are. Google is testing AI voice watermarks. Think of it like a digital fingerprint for voices. And Meta says they're flagging deepfake voices and videos more clearly to warn users. The bottom line: be cautious if you get any voice messages from people you don't know. It could be a scam. And even if it's someone you know, double check if you're not sure. And finally, let's shift gears to something inspiring. In Ukraine, AI is playing a role in the war effort. Ukrainian engineers are developing AI-powered combat drones. These drones can now fly without GPS or radio signals, relying instead on onboard AI to navigate and avoid obstacles. It's a fascinating development because it gives the drones greater flexibility and survivability. Without GPS, they can operate in areas where the enemy might be jamming signals. Without radios, they're harder to detect and intercept. And with onboard AI, they can respond quickly to changing conditions. The drones can dodge things like trees, buildings, and even bullets. This is not science fiction. It's happening now. And it shows how quickly military tech is evolving. These AI-powered drones are helping Ukraine's defenders keep fighting despite the challenges they face. And that's it for today. As always, I love to hear from you. What did you find most interesting? And what would you like to see covered in the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Tech Update for Sleep Time. Calm, curious, and kind. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow.